Hey everybody, welcome to my suburban oasis. Today's a beautiful sunshiny day, so I thought I'd get outside. It's only in the 30s, it's going to be in the 40s, and what I thought we would do today is we would prune back these coral berry bushes, and then I got started pruning on my Tianshan 7 sunflower trees, as well as my Rose of Sharon bushes. So I'd like to show you what that process looks like, because I know many of you were curious about how I'm limbing them up over the years and how I'm creating tree forms out of them. So that's what we're going to work on. So let's get started with these coral berry bushes. So for those of you who don't know me, thank you for subscribing. My name's Soleil and I am in zone 5B or 6A in mid-Michigan. They recently changed our zone from a 5B to a 6A. And basically with these coral berry bushes, all you need to do is trim them back. Oh, they say about a third. I'm probably doing about half right now, but that's because I want it to be nice and full. And it's good to do this before everything buds out, so we're really getting it right when we need to. And I've got 2 of these on either side of the shed. I've been thinking about getting rid of these and using something else here, something that might be evergreen, but I haven't exactly found what I've been looking for. I need kind of a small but taller evergreen, maybe something that's about 2 by 4. Because I don't want to cover the windows on the garden shed, but I do want to have more winter interest in the garden as always, because it's just so dreary in the wintertime. I don't know how you guys are in the wintertime, but I go kerplutz and wait until the spring comes to start feeling a little bit better. It really rejuvenates me when I can get out in the garden and do some pruning. So I'm just getting some of the small little branches that are out and about around the sides as well. I'm going to pull some of these leaves out that have found their way in. And for now, I'm just going to leave those as well. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks as we see how much breaks down and how much doesn't, whether I need to remove any. There we go, that looks pretty good. Does not need to be perfect. A lot of the rain and weather will take care of the rest of it. And I'm just making sure that none of these come into or growing directly onto the shed to make sure they're not going to be scraping the paint or anything like that. So let's do the other one now. Now I'm going to need to check the height on these to make sure they're about the same height. So I'm going to need to step away for a second in just a minute. Kind of take a look and compare the two. I want to make sure I get them even, or as close to even as I can. This actually sets slightly on a slope, so sometimes it can look like one is bigger than the other, even though it's not. Not a lot of the berries are left on this shrub. Most of them are gone from the winter and from the birds eating them. Are you guys starting to be able to get out into your garden? I see that we have some really cold weather coming up here still. You'll probably be watching this just as we're in the cold weather. And then hopefully we'll actually be getting into the real spring and not in our false springs that we get here in Michigan. We get so many of those like teasers where we think spring is coming and then it doesn't. You have to be careful what you start on in the garden and what you don't. But over the years, you definitely get the rhythm of what to start with, and shrubs are a great way to begin. I haven't finished all my hydrangeas yet, but I'm going to get to those pretty soon too. All right, let me see how that looks. It looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a little bit more off the top over here. This shrub is actually pretty much the right size and height for the space, but again, like I said, it just doesn't bring me a ton of joy, so I want to find something else that really makes me happier. All right, well, now that we've accomplished that, let's take a look at what I've been doing with the Rose of Sharon and the Tianshan 7th century. So in the half moon garden, the tall tree right here is the Tianshan 7th century, and next to it we have the Rose of Sharon bush. And what I've been doing is, I think we're in our 4th year with these. What I've been doing basically is limbing them up and also keeping them trim. So the Rose of Sharon one I'm keeping down lower than the Tianshan 7th Sun, just because I want that Tianshan to get all of the attention of the sun and everything like that. And I've been limbing the Tianshan up so that you can really see through it, as well as to ensure that it's not poking anybody in the face if they're in these chaise lounge chairs and they stand up. So you can tell the difference if you look at this one and the one that I haven't done yet, as well as the Rose of Sharon over here. So these definitely get a little bit different light because the sun comes from the left over here. This is our south facing side. That really hits the Rose of Sharon harder on this side, and the Tianshan more on this side. So they are growing slightly differently, but very similarly, and I want to just kind of mimic each side, not necessarily make it perfect, but yeah, let's get into it. So what I'm doing with this tree is I'm just clipping it pretty much straight across, and I'm doing that because, again, I want to keep it nice and low. But if I do see some branches that are jutting out forward like this, I'm going to take those off because I want these to be small tree forms as well. Like this one's kind of coming out to the side. I have a couple back here that are coming out. We're just going to take those off real easy. This one has a little bit thicker branches than the other one. Like I said, it's getting a little bit more sun, which the Rose of Sharon really likes. Just some slightly different conditions can make things a little different. Again, I'm just taking some off the back that are kind of sticking out to the back. And I'm trying to keep this going more vertical than out to the sides, at least at this point, until the Tianshan gets a little bit bigger. There's also some small branches in the middle that I'm taking out. They're just very teeny tiny branches that really won't do much of anything. So it's good to just take them off. I also have some that are going off to the left here, so I'm taking those off. Again, just trying to keep that upright dimension. This one's kind of leaning forward, so I'm going to take that one off. All right, now I'm going to take a look at what I've done and kind of compare it to the other one and see if it looks kind of similar. Yep, I think they look good. They're at about the same height and everything, so that's great. So now let's get after the Tianshan. All right, so you can see how I am 5 feet tall and I'm standing up and these are sticking into my hair. We do not want that, because most people are taller than me. So that branch is coming off. And then any that are really coming forward over here, and maybe some of the small ones that we see just kind of sticking out that aren't really much of a branch at all, will be coming down. And really I'm just assessing for shape and form and the height, so we're just going to take these off. You can see some of the little ones actually kind of fall off by themselves sometimes. I'm gonna have to clip this one backwards here. Probably should have sharpened my pruners a little bit more before I did this. All right. Going to the back branch now. It's so important to do these as the trees are growing, because otherwise all of the branches will just continue to get bigger and bigger and it'll be harder and harder to clip off. So now I'm just going to come through and get some of these small ones in the middle here. Just tidying things up. And it looks like I have one that's growing into the center. And I think I'm going to have to come to the front there. I've got a couple more that I need to take off out front. I've been debating on this one, but I think this one does need to come off. What do you think, honey? He says thumbs up. This one that comes all the way forward too, I may come back and take off with some larger clippers. Haven't completely decided on this one, but that one may come off. So this one right here is going to definitely come off. Hopefully I'll be able to get through this one with my secateurs. All right. All right, stepping back to take a look now. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to take one more off this branch right here. And finally right here. All right, I think that does that for today, and I think this looks really good. Let's take a look at all of the shrubs together. So we have these shrubs down here. And we've really opened up the airspace for them, help keep them healthy, as well as keeping the people out from under the shrubs. And I think it looks really good. Well, thank you so much for joining me out in the garden today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye!